Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday morning. It's around 10 o'clock. I'm a little bit late getting on. And I am Connie Myers, so it has to be to 70 and beyond. And I hope you guys have had an amazing, amazing week. I can tell you that it was one of the best weeks I've had in 2 years. So I'm super excited about what's happening now. People, I think, are starting to look, 2022 is looking beyond, even though we're still in the middle of COVID, they're looking beyond to how they can change their lives and make their lives better. And I was extremely honored this week to be a part of a news article that came out in Inman News. If you're not in the real estate business, Inman News is kind of like the Wall Street Journal of the real estate industry. So Bernice Ross, who's a syndicated columnist with her and a dear friend of mine. She's the one that puts on Awesome Females that I go to every year. This year is either my 13th or 14th year. I'm not really sure. But she interviewed 11 ladies at the Inman Conference. And she has now highlighted their tips for success. Now, you may be thinking, well, I'm not in the real estate business. It doesn't matter. These tips are phenomenal no matter what business you're in, or even if you're retired. You could use this as you're retired. So the first woman I'm gonna highlight every week. I'm gonna highlight another woman, and the first one I want to highlight is Amy Corr. I met Amy at the Inman Conference at the Awesome Females breakfast, and I was so impressed with her. And she is the executive vice president of culture agent development at Properties. Um, and for her, it's about personal connection with your past and present clients and be focused on what matters most to them. So I think most of us understand that we need to focus on what we can bring to the other person. You know, John Maxwell says that first you lead with your heart before you ask for your hand. So she's talking all about that. Focus on the give, she says, in terms of your relationships rather than focusing on what you're going to get out of it. Reverse that. That is so important. How can you go out and you can support others? I've joined a couple of women's networking groups and a couple of masterminds that are in the real estate business and outside the real estate business. And it's all about what you can bring to the table. What can you offer to others to help them, either with their lives or with their businesses? She says, when you focus on how you can help this individual you know, like, and love, then they will want to reciprocate and try to help you build your business. And that is so very true. So if you see someone out there that might need a little helping hand, by all means, go out there and do it. Be helpful. Be a way. Be a piece of a person that can offer something. I'm trying to think of the word I want to use. I can't come. It's not coming to mind right at the moment. But be that person for that person. Pick up the phone. You know, we're all with this day of Zoom and email and text messaging. I don't know about you, but when I try to figure out what the best way is to reach out to anybody, pretty much I'm reaching out every way I know. I'm either messaging them on Facebook or LinkedIn, or I message them, text message them, or I'm calling them, or I'm emailing them. It's unfortunate. It's gotten so complicated these days. But pick up the phone if you haven't done that for a while and call this person and hear their voice. I'm a baby boomer, so talking and seeing somebody, which thank God for Zoom, I have to say, even though we're all kind of tired of it. But being able to see that person, see their body language, but at least pick up the phone and hear their voice. Sometimes we just, it doesn't matter what we talk about. My best friend for over 40 years called me this morning, and, we didn't really talk about anything major. We just wanted to hear each other's voice. So she says, the secret of using this approach is to prepare 2 questions that you will ask the person that you are contacting. The first question should be relating to something personal in their lives or what's been going on. And the easiest way if you don't know what's been going on, you go to their Facebook or their LinkedIn page and find out what they're going on, make a comment about it. And when you talk to them on the phone, ask them how they're doing, or maybe how a family member is doing, and making sure their family and everything is okay. That way they know that you care. That's leading with the heart before you ask for a hand. And when you lead with your heart, you don't have to ask for a hand. People are going to say, how can I help you? The second question has to do with the reason you're calling, she says. For example, you could say, I love that kitchen remodel you did last year. Would you mind sharing with me who did the work? Because I'd like to pass it along to a friend who lives in the same neighborhood. So what is it that they're doing that you could ask about? Maybe you ask them about their business. Maybe you ask them about their family life. Maybe they just had an anniversary of some kind, of a wedding anniversary, a birthday, an anniversary at work. Maybe they just moved into a new house. Maybe they just are moving out of a house. Whatever it is, find something to tell them why you're calling. She goes on to say, and I love this. Um, when instead of doing client appreciation, she's in the real estate business, obviously. When instead of doing a client appreciation event, do something simple and easy. Now, so think about this. Even if you're retired, think about doing something like this to get back in touch with the people you care about. Invite your clients to an ice cream social and offer them a scoop of ice cream. It's not that expensive, and you'll have an opportunity to have everybody interface with one another. Have a happy hour. Before the pandemic, my cousin used to do happy hours, or we'd rotate around their neighborhood, and I would do them at my house, and all the same ladies would come up, and we shared so much, and they always turned out to be very interesting conversations that we had, very challenging sometimes, and sometimes we would laugh a lot. So find something to do with your family, with your friends, that is something a little bit different than what you've done before. So I love what Amy's company is growing. They're out of Chicago, and I love everything I hear about them. I've met a couple of her other compatriots. I'll be talking about one of them tomorrow or next Saturday. But if you want to check out this article, it is called Success Strategies from 11 of the, let me get the whole title here, sorry. Success Strategies from 11 Real Estate's Top Female Leaders, Part 1. She's going to be putting out Part 2, I think, next week. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to be in the real estate business. You may not be doing anything but being retired. Like my cousin says, both her and her husband are retired. They're starting their 3-day weekend, which I think is pretty funny. Anyway, Success Strategies from 11 Real Estate Top Females. I'm going to put 2 links in with the video so that you can check it out and read about all of them. And if you don't know at properties and you're in the Chicago area, I suggest you check them out. Anyway, okay, so this is going to be short and sweet today because I've got tons of things to do to prepare myself for next week and come up with those 2 questions myself. So I hope you have a beautiful Saturday. Enjoy the football, big football this weekend. And we will talk to you next Saturday on To 70 and Beyond. Thanks.